Hello. All right, I'm switching. Ba-bow. Wow. Happy Halloween. It's not Halloween, but it is. It's been Halloween since August, technically, to me. Give me 1 second. I need to pull little Lime to this screen. So let me get Lime.
Yow, wow, wow! Zow! Zow!
Wow,
Zow!
wow.
Zow! Yow, wow, wow!
Where the hell does Frog at? Frog. It's gonna be behind me. Okay. Okay. But not, hold on. Oh, Lime. Damn it. You're so large. Alright. This is why I need more screens, guys. First.
Pog online Pogos.
Alright, Lime's live. Live at 5. Alright, put you over here. I want Lime over by the chat. Not me. Lime. I'm gonna move myself again. Damn it! Alright, look, Lime's looking at you guys. Say hi to Lime. Say hello. Be nice. Be nice to Lime. Give him kisses. Why can't I hear the alert? Interesting. Yeah, say hi to Lime. Say hi. Say hi, hi, hi. Say hello to my sweet baby, Raccoon Cosmic Being. That's a fucking rad name. Thank you for the follow. Alright, guys. Hi. Hello. Let me tray this. It is time to yap. It's the yappening today. So I wanted to, first off, I hope everyone had a great weekend. I am trying another setup, so if my model looks weird or it does something strange, it's because I tried the setup I talked about yesterday. So now, like, I have my camera or my little phone thing above me with light. I have extra light. My mouth is working perfectly. It's all good. It's great. We're doing good today. So I hope everyone had a great weekend. Anyone who lives in Florida, I hope you were able to evacuate. I hope you guys are safe. That shit's scary. Also, because I keep seeing this and it's like all over my TikTok feed, y'all get your weather information from the weather service or the hurricane center or the water center. Don't get it from some fucking random on TikTok. They watch one newscast and think they're a meteorologist. There are people who go to school to be meteorologists. Let's not listen to the random person who's trying to get clicks and money from profiting off of a catastrophic event. So let's not promote those people, guys. Don't just weather service, for the love of God, please, guys. Listen to the trained professionals. That's all I ask. But hi Spike, hi EDF, hi I was about to say meow. Hi Bite. But yeah, so I just want to throw that out there just because I've been seeing it all over my TikTok feed, and I always think that when people try to, listen, I get that it's content, and if you're like a news person and you want to cover it, that's great. To bring more information to the people if you're getting it from reputable sources. However, these people are just like recording in their living room the Weather Channel and they're like, yeah guys, and there's another one out there. and then they'll show Hurricane Helene, and it's like, stop. That's one thing I love the internet, but I hate it because of the misinformation that gets spread. It's kind of wild to see misinformation spread in real time. It's crazy. But I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone at least tried to have a good weekend. I don't know what's up with me, but I've been feeling like mega cunty lately. I don't know. I feel like I've just been in a bad mood, and it's gonna be a bad time for everybody. Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way the world is right now that has me in a bad mood. But I'm gonna try to push it from my mind. There was a girl on TikTok who went to IKEA and to find a bee. I just want to be that happy that I can find a 99-cent bee at IKEA. Let's just breathe, everybody. All right, we're good. It's gonna be a good day. It's a Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Duh, I'm streaming today. It's gonna be a good Wednesday. It's gonna be a good rest of our week. Yeah, they have like little tiny bees, like bumblebees. They're mega cute. They have like they have a bigger one, and then they have like the teeny, like one that can fit in the palm of your hand. They're plushes, of course, not live bees. I don't think you can sell live bees unless you're a bee dispensary. Is that a real thing? I don't think so. I don't think you can just sell bees. Well, I guess it could be if you have like a honey farm, but no, IKEA doesn't have honey farms. Soon though, I'm sure they'll go into the bee business and start selling it. It's actually really funny that when I was younger, I had these bosses that, I mean, they were in business, so I figured they would stay there, and I guess they kind of did, but they actually started running a bee farm. Like, they started making honey, and that was just such a weird outlet for them to go. I didn't expect it. I just expected them to buy more businesses, but no, they started beekeeping. And I feel mean for thinking this, but beekeeping seems like kind of an old person hobby. So yeah, I could see that. I mean, if I was like in my 60s, 70s, I'd keep bees. That seems pretty...
Yes, they really were in the business.
Who said that? EDF. That was a pretty good one. I expected that to be super, because that's a very dad joke, but good job, good job. Like I said, you guys are never short on those. I actually found a really good one yesterday, and I used it on someone's TTS. Oh my gosh. I can't remember it now. No, I can't remember it. It was something about space, but it was so funny. I was like, that was clever. You clever bitch. And then I went and forgot it. I feel like I read it on the internet. We're originally doctors? Wow. Man, what an interesting route. Let's make video games from being doctors. Ghibli? What are you doing? Gibby. Ghibli. Ghibli. That's where I clean the carpet because that's where you barfed. Stop trying to cover it up. Nope, she's gonna keep trying. She's gonna keep trying. Again, Ghibli, that was your barf. I cleaned it up. You're covering cleaner. Okay. All right. I give up, guys. These love Mary Jane plants. I don't know why. You know, I read a lot of stuff on the internet because I'm always curious as to like what deters bug or what attracts bugs. And most of them all say like things hate lavender or stuff like that. And I'm like, that sounds super wrong because it's a flower. They're going to pollinate it. So it doesn't make any sense. And honestly, I think people just go to lavender because it's an unusual plant. But it attracts everything. I think everyone's lying. Everyone's a filthy liar. Alright guys, so today I did have something particular that I wanted to yap about. We're going to be yapping about the TOS changes to Twitch. That is what we are talking about today. The community guidelines, introduction to safety on Twitch. So this was a little bit of a stir on Twitter because everything's a stir on Twitter. I commented, and listen, I was being a little bit of an asshole. Slightly. Just a wee bit, just a tiny bitty bit. All right? I was being a little bit of an asshole. I see no problem with what I said. I said, if you're going to make changes, make them for everyone and not just VTubers. Twitch replied, or Twitch support replied. They're replying to a lot of people. I think they were just angry, which I don't blame them. Because their changes weren't bad. I was just a wee bit irritated that for some reason, I'm not even irritated, that's a lie. I don't really fucking care. I was wanting, I don't know how to word this. I believe that VR chat models should be to the same standards that they are keeping for everyone else and not keeping it to a game and what the game says is okay to put in there. Like, I can understand you can be a game character in VR chat, and I think that's fine, whatever. However, most of the people who do VR chat get custom models, and if you can be a 3D VTuber, you can be a 2D VTuber, you're technically getting that model custom for you, which will make you a VTuber. And I just feel the VR chat section is not what it used to be. I remember watching VR chat, I think when like Whoops and Strippin and a few other people played. It was very funny, it was very comical, it was a lot of improv, it was very fun, it was super fun to watch. And now it is all like exotic dancers is the best way I can put it. And I just, when I click into a stream and the first thing I see is someone angling a camera to get a Vahugana shot, that's not appropriate. Whether you have a disclaimer on your channel or not, when they're wearing a micro bikini, where if their model is designed for it, one slip and then you got a whole like lip slapping you in the face, all right? Not appropriate. And I'm really sorry for the way that I'm wording things, but this is just how I see it. Again, I think there's a place for that content, but I think their clothing standards should be the same for everyone across Twitch. However, I do think the clothing standards are weird because of how fashion is. And it's really unfortunate. Most men, I feel like men's fashion is very basic to a point unless you go to like higher end fashion stuff. If you go into a Target or a Walmart, you guys get sweats, t-shirts, jeans, long sleeve t-shirt, like very basic items that, you know, being super fashionable is, you're gonna be spending a lot more money to be in like more high fashion clothes. So it's really weird. Fashion's very, it is an art form. It's like art to me. So I've always found fashion very interesting. I'm not the most fashionable person, but I find just fashion itself very interesting. Hold on, I'm looking for their reply. Did you just say I can tiny bee for a little treat? That's good, I'm glad. How you doing? How are you? I'm doing good. All right, so they said to me, our attire guidelines apply to all streamers, including VTubers, but not video game characters unless otherwise stated in our prohibited games policy. Which they included video game characters as also like talking about VR chat. But again, I feel like VR chat models, a lot of those are custom for people, which would classify as a VTuber, a virtual YouTuber. So that's where I think it should be changed. However, I'm not Twitch, so my opinion doesn't fucking matter. Sleepy and annoyed, I'm sorry. Well, I hope you get over both of them. I know how it is to like wake up sleepy and irritated. So we're gonna be going over everything because again, I don't think these things that they are enforcing, quote unquote, are bad. I really don't. I think these are fine things for their channel and for overall, but it gets vague, but I understand why they have to be vague. Also, Deadpool Witch, thank you so much for the follow. So we're gonna be starting with safety and self-destructive behavior. Harming yourself or discussing self-harm can be dangerous for not only yourself, but for your viewers and those around you. We understand that streamers and viewers should be able to discuss sensitive topics like self-harm or mental health, but we want Twitch to remain a safe space to do so. Anyone should be able to talk about their struggles if they so choose. Fair, very fair. However, Twitch does not allow the content that glorifies, promotes, or encourages self-harm. We also prohibit activity that may endanger your life or lead to physical harm, or encouraging others to engage in harmful behavior. We do not make exceptions for self-destructive behaviors performed as a stunt, gag, or in jest, or meant to be entertainment, when the behavior could reasonably be expected to cause physical injury to anyone or our service. That's fair. I think that's good. I think I've never been one for those like challenge streams where it's like, especially with like drinking and stuff, I've always thought those are really harmful. I know we did mixology streams, and to be honest, the reason we haven't had another one is I was having those once a month, but I also don't like drinking. So it's really hard to keep those up when you don't even like drinking. I like making the drinks, I just don't like drinking them. So that's kind of why those stopped, if anyone was wondering. But the streams where it's like, gift 20 subs and I'll drink X amount, those were always not my favorite type of things. That's just me. I know some people are into that stuff. It's not unusual content. It's stuff we've definitely seen on like cable TV shows and stuff like that. Yeah, in TikTok, like you see this stuff kind of everywhere, and it's not a new idea. It's a shit you've seen on TV. It's not new. It's not great. It's not great for the person. It's not great for the people watching. So I think this is a totally fine, great, added thing. This has always been here. I think they just added like 4 examples, which is great. They added examples for it, like the glorification or promotion, promoting pro eating disorder content, which I assume would be like those crazy, more intense mukbang streams where people are just eating, and they won't stop. Like, I'm gonna eat all of this, which again, those videos are on YouTube too, where it's guys going to different restaurants. It's a Guy Fieri. Didn't Guy Fieri do this? I think he did. I think that was like his whole shit when he like started was, I'm gonna go do this challenge, and it's like this mega burger that fills up the entire table. And that's not healthy. That's not good for the person, and honestly, maybe it is good for people watching it because it makes me never want to do it. It makes me never want any of that food ever. I think there was actually something recently that I watched. I watched a Papa Meat video where he tried all of the different frozen meals. Thank you for your cat tax. And I was so, cause I would eat those. I would eat like lean cuisines and stuff, cause I was like, it's a quick lunch that you can like take to work. You can just pack in something. They're very quick meals. And when he was going over the shit that was in them, I was like, I am never eating any of these ever again. I'll meal prep. I was like, never again will I ever eat this shit. I don't want to put it in my body. That's gross. But yeah, it's weird. I don't think it's good though. It's not good content. Let's see. Sharing graphic details of, yeah, I don't want to read some of this because I feel like I might get banned, but again, this is the Twitch guidelines. But sharing graphic details of attempts, using hard drugs, what you shouldn't be doing anywhere. The human consumption of like Tide Pod, like that stupid Tide Pod challenge, that was awful. Overconsumption of alcohol to where you're being incapacitated, which you should never do, and dangerous things like distracted driving and stuff like that, which I would assume would be more for like Pokemon Go streamers if you're driving and you're also like on the phone, but I don't even think that game lets you drive while you're playing it anymore. This is pretty cool. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Also, since my mic is closer, I'm really sorry if you can hear my water bottle. I got a new one and I didn't realize how like watery it would be, I guess. Enforcement notes, selling, selling stuff for monetary gain. Like here, prohibited examples, taking shots of alcohol for subs or doing the cinnamon challenge for a set amount of bits. Yeah, that would, that's gross. I don't like that. Yeah, when we hit so many things, well, yeah, so it's exactly what I was saying. It is the, I'll do this for X amount of money. And it's weird because some of these I don't think are harmful. You would think, but I also remember watching a girl talk about how she had that one chip challenge, the hot chip. Hi, Meow. Hello, my love. Someone said that I looked pretty cool, so thank you, Meow. You designed and drew my model so well. Thank you, my love. She did the hot chip challenge, which I've never tried them, but apparently they're insane. But she did it for, I think, a subathon, and it was so intense and hurt her so badly that when she got up to go use the bathroom, she basically tumbled over in pain and had to like crawl her way back to her streaming room to get her phone to call paramedics. It was that bad. So if that like single little challenge that you would think nothing of can do that to a person, yeah, I'm totally on board with the self-destructive behavior safety stuff. Great changes, great examples. Very happy that they added examples for that. I'm baffled by their obvious bias. So we're gonna get to that. they clearly have biased. I'm not gonna say that they don't. Some of their stuff that people are freaking out over, they've always been there. They finally just kind of said it. So, yeah. Yes, I am double streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I have like both up so I can like answer questions. But yeah. Okay, so that was the self-destructive behavior additions, which I think are great. Okay, violence and threats. Acts of threats or violence are counterproductive to promoting a safe, inclusive, and friendly community. Violence on Twitch is taken seriously and is considered a zero-tolerance violation, and all accounts associated with stuff will be indefinitely suspended. Hi, how are you? For example, you may not show or promote the content. Promote content warning. Attempts or threats to physically harm others. Attempts to threat, dox, hack, or SWAT, which that's always been there. Like most of these have always been there, but I think they just finally added examples to further clarify, which is great because I don't think they had these before. What's up, Ender? Use weapons to physically threaten, intimidate, or kill others. It feels even weird saying that on Twitch. I feel like my vernacular has vastly changed as I've gotten older, and there are just so many words that I'm just not even comfortable saying anymore. In situations where a user has lost control of their broadcast due to an injury, medical emergency, risk, they may be parental. Yeah, so this is just like, don't be a terrible person. That's really all this is don't be a terrible person. So that was the threats and violence. They added the thing that's always been in there. They just finally gave examples, which is great. You shouldn't be doing any of that on Twitch anyway. You shouldn't be doing that in real life. So yeah, great, good. We are talking about the new TOS changes. Okay, terrorism and violent extremist. I don't know if this has always been here. I can't remember. I think maybe it was lumped into something else. So terrorism and violent extremists promote unlawful violence or spread messages of intolerance. Twitch does not allow content that depicts, glorifies, encourages, or supports terrorism or violent extreme actors or acts. That's great. Display link to terrorism, extreme propaganda, graphic images. Yeah, so I think that's always been there. They just kind of made it its own subsection. But I think that was possibly lumped in with something else before, but they finally like labeled it out and clarified it, which great. Again, shouldn't be doing this real life or outside. So yeah, it's and this is what a lot of people have. You really have to spell it out for a lot of people because common sense and just being a decent person are not a lot of things people can do, unfortunately. And it's really sad that we have lost so much faith in humanity that we literally have to label all of this out to show you that you should not be showing this shit. But it has to be said. It really does. Okay, adult sexual violence. I'm not even gonna go into this. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you do this shit, this is not a Twitch thing. The law enforcement is going to get involved and you are going to be arrested. That's all that needs to be said about that part. Don't do that shit. It's gross. Yeah, it just, in general, you shouldn't be doing some of this stuff in real life. And I was like, what are you doing? It's like, yeah, okay, so there are some things that's like, yeah, like maybe you bow up at your friend, because I remember doing that shit when I was younger, where you like bow up at somebody, but you're not actually gonna do shit to them. would that be considered violence? I know that people are going to be like going that way for Twitch, but it's very self-explanatory. And I think with a little bit of reading between the lines and finesse, you will understand that your small things that can be meant in jest between you and a friend are not the same thing as what they are saying. They're different. And you just use fucking reading comprehension. That's it. All right, later, Andrew. You have a good one. Okay, this one is for youth safety, which I think this is all newer. Except for, like, I think basically the baseline of it has always been in there, but they added examples and enforcement clarifications for everything. Also, what's up, Pumpkin? So Twitch prohibits any content or activity. I'm sorry, this is the most I've spoken in a really long time. Oh, excuse me. Twitch prohibits any content activities that endangers the youth. This content that features or promotes any I'll just say CS material and sexual exploitation, grooming, any of that defined by the policy as a minor under 18. We will report all illegal content to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I think that's new. The we will report illegal activity. So nice. That's wonderful. Which will work with the global law enforcement agencies around the world. Great. Amazing. Love that. I love that they're going to be reporting it. For example, you may not show or promote engage. Explicit images, sharing third-party links to prohibited stuff, content that promotes youth and being exploited. God. This is so poor. Man. Woo. I just this having to be stated, it makes me so sad that people are awful. I need a moment. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. It's just, dang, like, crazy that all of this has to be listed out like this just for people to actually understand it. Also, I usually stream around 11 a.m. Central Time. I'm a morning walker, so I'm usually live during the day. Or in the morning, rather. All right, attempts to coerce money for favors or imagery, content depicting nudity, alleged allegations, alleged victims, or by name, and I would assume that would be like if you're showing them, identifying alleged victims of CSAM by name. Okay, yeah, so like I guess if they're talking about people and then showing their stuff, which I like that they gave that example. Enforcement notes and clarification depicting fictional anime characters of a childlike appearance, lollies or shotas of any kind, and sexual framing is not allowed. This applies to VTubers within games where avatars are uploaded, such as VR chat with childlike avatars, even if broadcasters and operators are above the age of 18. Wonderful enforcement note. Any humor regarding, totally agree, absolutely agree, no humor towards the youth. Wonderful. Stating that you are the age of blank anywhere on I'm not gonna say it, anywhere on Twitch, even if it is intended to be humorous, it will result in permanently deactivating your account. Wait, I thought you could. Prohibited examples is typing in chat, haha, I'm 1-2. I'm this age, by the way, or I'm using my dad's account. Okay, yeah. I mean, I thought they auto banned this. I thought that was like a word ban on Twitch. Oh no. Yeah, it's I do not know how to do time conversion off the top of my head, but yes, it's like 11 a.m. And sometimes afternoon my time, so I'm not sure what that would be for other places. I probably should add a time conversion to some of my socials where I do that. I should probably write that down. Thank you. Because it's a good idea to have time conversions for people so they're able to do that. Time conversions. All right, note made. Okay, off-service conduct. Also, that was youth safety, which I think all of those enforcements are great. They're fine. Off-service conduct. For streamers and viewers to build a vibrant and dynamic community, everyone must feel secure and protected. We believe that off-service offenses committed by Twitch users can create a substantial safety risk to the Twitch community as a result. Okay. Yes, I am American. It must just be because I'm older, but this seems like a list of things that you were educated. Yeah, it is, and this isn't unusual. This is what a lot of sites do, because if you don't state it, then people are like, well, I can do it, because people are crazy. So I totally understand why all of this needs to be stated. Let's see. Okay, I read that. As a result, Twitch enforces a certain severe offenses that occur off Twitch when community members when committed by members of the Twitch community. Okay. This is new, I think. Extreme violence or violent extremism, terrorist activities or recruiting, explicit or credible threats of mass violence, holy shit, leadership, membership of an unknown, to an unknown hate group, or to a known hate group, sorry. Carrying out, deliberately acting as a accomplice to a non-consensual sexual activity, or SA, holy. Oh my god. Sexually exploiting the youth. So basically all the stuff that they're going to be stating. Doxing, harmful misinformation, persistent misinformation spreaders, explicit or credible threats against Twitch or Twitch staff, which you shouldn't be threatening anyone, even if you don't like them. Don't threaten people. It's gross. Swatting. Users can contact the Twitch service off-service investigations team to report the case. Services abused solicited can go directly to our global team for investigating allegations of severe off-service offenses and are handled with complete confidentiality. That's fine. Like, I agree with all of that. Because we have less context for behaviors that occur off Twitch, we require evidence for these activities. Okay. Which you if you did any of these, you would probably have. Evidence. I was trying to think of the word and it was right there in front of me. Off-service frequently asked questions. I'm gonna let you guys go to that if you want to. I'm not gonna read all of that. Just because they're frequently asked questions. They have a list of banned games on Twitch. And a lot of the ones that are more like that are part of the banned game list. Because the banned game list is quite long. Unauthorized sharing private information. Yeah, don't share people's sensitive information or your own sensitive information to anyone online. That's pretty Pretty much it. Don't leak shit. God. Ugh. Duke, thanks for the follow. Okay, that was all safety. That was the end of the safety stuff for Twitch, which a lot of that's been there. I think they just finally separated and added examples and stuff for a lot of things, which is good. All right, we're on civil and respect. Okay. Eightful conduct. Twitch aims to be a place where everyone can come together and share community experience. This vision is threatened when people experience harmful or abuse on Twitch. Twitch does not permit that behavior motivated by hatred, prejudice, or intolerance, including behavior that promotes or encourages discrimination, harassment. Oh gosh. I feel silly. What is this word? Denigrate. Okay. Just tell me what the word means. I don't need it translated. Denigration. The action of unfairly criticizing someone or something. Okay. I just wanted to know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant. I had never seen that word before. Harassment and violence based on the following protected characterizations of race, ethnicity, color, caste, national origin, immigration status, religion, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, serious medical condition, or veteran status. That was a lot. We also provide a certain protection for age, which we expressly note in examples. Yeah, because can't you get partner, or not partner, but you can get affiliate at the starting sign-up age for Twitch, I believe. So, very good. Yeah, never share your personal information, ever, guys. And it's such a real thing that needs to be stated, because there are so many older people who fall for those tricks. And it's really sad. It makes me feel so bad that people, like, you just get a call and it's like, let me get your social. And they're just like, okay. And it's like, what? This is the same generation that's like, don't talk to strangers on the internet, and like, given that's what we're doing now, but it's just like, I'm not gonna give someone your information. Like, why? Please. Also, thank you for the follow, Soup. It's just, when you see it and you hear it, it's always just so sad. Because I had a friend's grandparent that almost fell for that stuff, and it's just like, please, like, you tell us not to talk to strangers. Why are you talking to a stranger on the phone that you don't know? Well, don't do it here or I will ban you. And Twitch. We define protected groups as a subset for every Twitch user. Okay. And then their examples are, it's literally all of the stuff from the violent stuff. It's like promoting or glorifying threats, advocating harm towards people or a certain group, inciting or promoting violence, telling people to, I don't even feel comfortable saying this, to blank themselves, modify game content to promote violence, glorify or specify hate crimes or mass violence, suggest a victim of a hate crime, using hateful slurs, entering chat and spamming slurs, target an individual with a slur, include a slur in your profile content, calling another player a slur while streaming, post, upload hateful images, stream with a Confederate flag in your background, given the historical association with it with the white supremacists in the group, displaying the symbol in non-educational context runs counter to Twitch's commitment to being a better, more inclusive service to welcome all. Wearing a t-shirt with a cross arrow, swastikas, SS bolts in chat, create speech imagery or emotes that combined dehumanizing or negative stereotypes or memes, black, brown, yellow, or red face, content that perpetuates or recognizes a negative stereotype about a protected group as greedy or unintelligent. I'm so sorry. Woo. Yeah, I know. If I don't know a number, don't answer it. It's as simple as that. And then, like every good millennial, Google the number. That's what we all do. Just get with the times. Just let them call you, ignore it, and then Google their number. It's what everyone else does. Okay? Where was I? Content that perpetuates a negative stereotype between an animal or a protected group, or comparing a protected group to an animal to being inferior or unclean. Content promoting a protected group to insect, pest, parasite, filth, or disease, or viruses. Holy shit. Content suggesting the protected group members are subhuman, inhuman, or impure. Jesus Christ. Just reading all this, I'm like, oh my god. Okay. Okay. Content insinuating individuals are certainly protected by characteristics are terrorist or crimes, referring to protected group as property or things, intentionally referring to someone as a pronoun in a form of address as not correctly reflect their gender right or identity. Oh my god, this is hard to. There's a lot. They really were pretty thorough. So A+ for that. It's weird. Again, like as I've gotten older, there are things that I just would never want to say again. And unfortunately, I think that's a part of growing up, is when you are a youth and there's all this lingo and all this stuff and stuff that you don't know is right or wrong. It's an entire learning process, because as you get older, the person's going to be like, yeah, I don't want to say that anymore. I can't believe I ever said that. That was gross. And it's just the whole thing of it's a learning process. And when you are younger, you say things that are stupid, are bad. And then when you get older and you get out of the situation or the group of people that you were around that were okay saying that, and when you're away from them, you're like, oh, gross. Why did I ever say that? So it's weird. Again, it's a lot of human interest, essentially. Like, this is just things you have to learn as you grow up. Lingo changes. Every generation is going to have their own slang. It's very weird. And I really don't know how to tell you, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, just don't say that. Just, if you don't think you should say it, don't say it. That's about all I can say, is that if you think you shouldn't say it, probably shouldn't say it. Or like start off with, I'm not sure if this is okay, but this is how I've heard it. And I think that it should go a long way with people, because that you are asking for them to educate you in the matter that you are not educated about. If it's like stuff you just don't understand, or you're not in contact with every single day, or it's not a part of your daily life, There are a lot of people who don't have a lot of social interactions. So if they come to you and they're talking to you and they're going to be like, forgive me, this is what I've heard. I don't know if it's correct. I feel like, you know, the person you're talking to should be like, no, I got you, and be either able to educate you in that matter or find someone who could help you understand better. At least that's my take. Shrug. I've been blessed not to receive spam calls. I've been receiving endless texts begging me to vote too. My friend has too. They've really been going wild with that. Understandably so, but this was what makes people not ever want to give their number out for anything. In recent events, they've had to point these things out more. Yeah, I mean, there's slang that I hear, and I'm like, I don't understand what that means. And like me and Meow have had to Google slang because we don't know what it means, and we're like, this sounds bad. So it's a weird, like, slang is such a weird thing with every generation. Yeah, there's no shame in like trying to educate yourself more to be able to converse with more people. Like if I could speak in every language, I absolutely would. Because I feel like it would make me more knowledgeable to those people's traditions, to what they're used to hearing. Like every culture is so different. And if you don't ask, if you don't bother to actually look it up or find anything, then you'll never know. So I've always liked asking people about, like, if I do know they are from like another culture or like have cultural things in their family that they do. I love hearing more about it because I always find it so interesting. It's just like more knowledge, more things for me to learn. At this point, if I hear slang that sounds a little off, I immediately feel icky. I hate how it really has. It's such a weird thing because I don't even want to say it. It's the one that starts with a G that's talking about a girl's butt. That one, I was like, I don't think that means what they think it means. And then I looked it up and then that's what it meant. And I was like, oh, I was like, what a weird word. How strange. After watching Zeppelin Misty Q, Drake. Oh my goodness. YouTube's recommended my streams? That's crazy. I haven't played Final Fantasy in a really long time. I do though. I do have some Final Fantasy VODs, but I've kind of been on a burnout phase from it. But it's interesting that those are the ones that recommended me. Very, very intriguing. Thank you. You've never heard that before? Oh, what, the G one? Me and Meow looked it up. I wish we hadn't. I wish we hadn't looked up a lot of things that day. She made me look up what skibbity toilet meant. So now I don't even remember what it means, but I looked it up. So thank you. You made her you did! You made me look it up. You made me look it up. She twisted my arm. She drove to my house. She took my arm and bent it behind my back. And then she was like, look up these slang words for me. And she made me look up and see what they meant. That's what happened. Actually true. True facts. That's what Meow did to me. I didn't want to ruin my search history. Girl, with some of the commissions that you get, your search history is gone. This was actually how I found you. Your stream got recommended while I was watching a Vine sauce VOD. How weird. How strange. I'm getting recommended in the weirdest places. How interesting. Because I would assume that I have stuff in common with these people. And the person who mentioned all the places, or all the people before, they all played Final Fantasy. I've played Final Fantasy. I can kind of get it, but I haven't done that in a while. So how weird, how interesting. Thanks, God. You're adding to my information pile. Because I often look up where I've been recommended so I can see where I'm being pushed for making videos and stuff. So interesting. Thank you. Thank you for all the information. Okay, so I have no idea where we were. Oh, okay. I think we were, claims on divine sanction are hostile towards a protected group. Negative statements related to mental health. Negative statements to hygiene. Expressions, questions group's worth. Statements that suggest inferiority to a protected group. This example, what is this? Blank group, protected group are just the worst at gaming. Who fucking cares? That's not like that. That's kind of a weird example. I get it, but just saying someone's the worst at gaming, who fucking cares? What? That's an opinion at that matter, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't. A weird example. Not the one I would have picked, but I get it. Statements questioning the moral integrity of a protected group, including statements suggesting the protected groups are all cheaters. Content implementing contemporary culture or primitive. This is so much. I do like that they were so thorough. That's nice. What Final Fantasy games do you play besides 14? I'm assuming you played before you got burnt out. I still do play 14 occasionally, just not as hard as I used to go. I used to try to do like Savage Raids Day 1 and stuff blind, but you would think Warframe Topic would be recommending you more. I thought they would. I play more Warframe now. But it's also considered an MMO, so maybe it's the MMO being pushed for me. I've played all of them. I haven't played 1, 2, or the original 3. I played a DS Final Fantasy 3 that was not very good. Have I played 4? I think I've played 4. I've played 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 was the online one. I did not play that one because you needed that like behemoth thing to pop in the back of your PlayStation 2. That was obnoxious. And it cost like $100 at the time. That was way too much. I played 12, 13, 13-2. Played 10-2 as well. Played 13-3. 14. Yeah, 14 is the online one. I played 15 and I played 16. I've played a majority of them. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. I say everyone is bad at games. We all are pretty bad at games. Everyone is people are not the greatest at games unless you're like an esportser. That's something I'll never know. I'll never know what it's like to be insanely good at a game. Like a first-person shooter. Never. If I was ever... I watch Sure4 a lot, so if I was ever like Sure4 level good at streaming, or not streaming, but shooting, I would literally just be sitting here playing Deadlock for probably hundreds of hours a day. I don't think there are any streamers who play Final Fantasy XI unless they're Japanese or they're hardcore ones. Yeah, I remember when it came out. I don't even know if it's still supported. I thought they had ended support to Final Fantasy XI. But I guess people could probably make their own private servers, I suppose. Ooh, this is the most I've yapped in a while, guys. You guys are getting treated today. Let's see. So content, okay, this is call for subjection, segregation, or exclusion, any including political and economic, social segregations based on protected characteristic, including age. Okay, I might be overthinking this. Would people who only want 18 plus channels like myself, would that be excluding them? But let's read the examples. We do, however, allow the discussion of certain topics such as the immigration policy, voting rights for non-citizens, and professional sports participation as long as it is not directed at a degenerating base protected by a characteristic. Support or deny the right for political participation. Protected groups should not be allowed to vote. See example. Support for limited participation in the workplace. We should not hire a protected group. Calls for exclusion from public services. We shouldn't spend our tax dollars educating blank group. Calls for exclusion from online services based or protected on characteristics, including suggesting a protected group does not belong on Twitch. Calls for controlling or dominating a group of people, including a glorified period because protected groups were subjected during the time. Example, slavery. I don't even want to read their example. Blank was the glory days. That is a very gross example, but it is a very valid example. That felt very disgusting to read. Encouraging or support the political and economic dominance of any race, ethnicity, religious group, including support for white supremacists or national idealists. This does not include support for self-determination movements. This is so much reading. Good lord. They really outdid themselves with examples and whatnot. So good job, Twitch. Very happy that you added so much to these. Good job. You played 15 and remake. Yeah, I played both. I played the remake. And it was good. I played that. I liked it. 15 was... What was 15? 15 was the boy group, right? I think so. I can't remember the numbers anymore. It's still alive, including official servers. Oh, interesting. Oh, 15, yeah, it's the boy group one. It was okay. The ending was a little lackluster. We'll never get a filthy Frank. We shouldn't have gotten a filthy Frank back in the day, honestly, because that was some of the most insane shit that I had even seen. I was like, oh my gosh. Holy fuck. Yeah, I really do like how thorough they're being. I like that they're giving the examples. I like that they're actually like telling us like these are the examples. Don't be a shithead, essentially. With more, what's the word I'm looking for? Finesse? I feel like that's not the word I'm looking for. Meow, help me. What's the word I'm looking for? More eloquence. That's it. They're saying it a lot more eloquently. Okay. Where were we? Because there's so much and it all looks the same. Because of how this is written. They have it just like straight down. Eloquence, thank you. I try to expand my vernacular. I have a book of words that I like to read and try to use. Never hurts to expand your vernacular. You'd be surprised the basic words a lot of people don't know. I really don't know where we were. Does anyone remember the last thing that we read? Oh, okay, I think it was this. Encourage or support a political, economic dominance of any race, ethnicity, or religious group, including support. Yeah, okay, we read that. Support of the homogeneity of any group or protected characteristics. Increase fertility rates to restrict immigration. Did someone actually do this? I'm wondering if like some of these examples came from someone actually saying this shit, because it's kind of insane. For increase fertility rates or restrict immigration to preserve an economic, political, social power of any group. I wouldn't even think to put that as an example. That's crazy. Okay, express or contempt or hatred or disgust on a protected characteristic. Statement that a protected group should not exist. Statement dismissing of an entire group. I don't like protected group. Statement that that a protected characteristic is repulsive or disgusting or causing sickness. Blank makes me want to vomit. Mock the victim or event and deny the occurrence of a well-documented hate crime and deny the existence of documented acts of mass genocide against a protected group. Okay. It was the plan today to discuss the new Twitch rules that they had just released. I think not yesterday, but the day before that. They released a bunch of new rules, so we're just going over them and yapping about them. That's what we're doing. But the rules these are for Twitch. Expanding my binoculars. Nice. I'm on page 200 of the dictionary. The plot doesn't make any sense. That's fair. You'll get there. Maybe it's like an end of the story type of thing. If they weren't clear and had been vague in writing the rules, it can lead to a... Yeah, it can... They write vague enough, but they write concise enough so people can't find loopholes. And if they do find those loopholes, they then close the loopholes, which it's very much a company thing to do. It makes sense. Draw a cartoon character mocking a victim or hate crime, denial of a existence of a genocide, including the Holocaust. I am wondering if someone did that. I hope they did not. Suggesting a documented act of mass murder by a protected characteristic was a hoax. Make unfounded claims against blame to a protected group or otherwise intends to incite fear about a protected group as it relates to health and safety. Conspiracy theories that individuals are a group of evil, corrupt, or malicious based on a protected characteristic. Claim that a protected group or is intentionally spreading a disease. Statements including a protected characteristic makes an individual more likely to be a criminal or a terrorist. Encouraging the use of general endorsing sexual orientation conversion therapy. Oh my god. Support. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. I'm just some of these I feel like I'm shocked at, but I shouldn't be, because it's very like this is what should be in a community guideline for anywhere. But just seeing, I guess, kind of written out plainly, it's a little jarring that people would even do this in the first place. Create accounts dictated to hate through abusive usernames. Whew. Okay. We're at the enforcement notes. Enforcement notes and clarification. We take the consideration that if a reported user belongs to a targeted or protected group, determine the offense. We consider context while enforcing self-depicting terminology in a positive or in a joking way might be treated differently. The N-word with a hard R, racial slur, is never allowed under any circumstance. thank you. I think it should be both, even if it doesn't have an R. I'm glad that they finally put that in there because I don't think that was in there before. Denouncing slurs in any context, allowed examples. Speaking of an experience where a slur was used against yourself, which is overheard. I was at the supermarket and I heard someone yell slur, or I was once called a slur at work by a colleague. Oh, these are allowed examples. Okay, interesting. All right. Still glad they included it. All right. This is still under civil and respect. We're now at harassment. Whew. They really outdid themselves. This is a lot. I'm really glad they were so thorough. Either someone actually said it. Honestly, if they did get imaginative and just like, yes, someone would be crazy enough to say this, I'm glad they put it. I'm pretty impressed with all of the stuff that they have put in here so far and how thorough they've been, which is great. The internet is it's not full of smart people. The internet, it's kind of weird that it's that way because when you're in a generation that didn't have computers and then you go to a generation that's all like they have always had a tiny computer in the palm of their hand to gather any wealth of information that they need. It's crazy, but I also blame that on the spread of misinformation to people. It's really unfortunate how rampant that has kind of become because they could think that they're actually being very knowledgeable about a situation, but it just takes one person giving them bad information for them to end up not knowing what they're talking about, which is unfortunate. Because you're always learning new words. Oh, that's fun. Well, I guess I couldn't do that for other languages because it would be in the writing, and if I don't know how to write it, I can't read it, unfortunately. Probably, but I personally, I just don't like the word period, but that's just me. I know it's different for everybody. Some people, with words, it's strange because some people are like, they're just words. You give them the power that they have over you, and you think they shouldn't have that much effect on a person. But sometimes you hear stuff and you're just like, that really hurt, like fuck. And you're like, it's just a word, but it still makes you feel a certain way. It's very weird. It's strange. I feel bad for the guys who literally had to cover every scenario. For real. They really had to just go like, what crazy, inhumane shit would someone say? And they had to write it down on a piece of paper. And it's like, this is a possibility. And it's like, ugh, oh my gosh. Misinformation can travel the world before facts have time to put their pants on. I really like that quote, actually. That's a good one. Even if that was straight from the dome, Al, that was a good one. Okay, we are at harassment. Harassment deters the growth of being vibrant or diverse communities, prevents people from feeling safe on Twitch, and creates a gateway for more severe forms of harm and abuse. People experience harassment in different ways, including personal attacks, promotion of self-harm, and malicious berating. Engaging in harassment will result in enforcement, and actions will be taken to the relevant accounts. Please keep in mind, we expect streamers to take the necessary steps to mitigate harassment content that appears on their stream or in their chat. We will not suspend broadcasters that will that we find acting in good faith, including using tools such as auto mods, times out, channel bans, or removes abuse from third-party external sources. Okay. For example, you may not engage in content warning. What's up, Nobu? Wishing harm or death on others, telling other people to severely harm themselves or K themselves, saying another person deserves to contract a terminal or severe illness. On one hand, people should develop thicker skin and heart to protect themselves. I think people should speak up for themselves more. If you don't like something someone's doing, tell them. Say, that's not okay. I don't think it's really a thicker skin. I think that's very something like, I've heard it before. Like I've heard that from my parents. I've heard that from my parents' parents. And I think it's such a cop-out to not be a decent person. How about you just don't say an awful thing to somebody? It's not hard. Just don't fucking say it. And that's something I've had to deal with because I was bullied in school. Like I had to deal with hateful stuff being said to me. And yeah, I have developed a thicker skin because of it, and I don't fucking care what people think about me, and I just am unapologetically myself now. So yeah, something good came of that, but that's not going to be the case for everyone. Not everyone's going to be like, I'm going to develop a thicker skin and I'm going to be okay with being me. A lot of people don't go that route. So I think actually understanding that your words have weight when you're saying them to another person, and that just being conscientious of what you're saying, even if you do say something that another person doesn't like, or if someone says something to you that you don't like, being like, hey, I don't like that. Don't say that to me. And period. There is no reason for you to explain why you don't like it. If the person respects you, if they are your friend, or if they are just another person who understands another human being, they'll be okay. I won't do it again. That's it. End of conversation. There's really no other exploring it. If you're not okay with it, tell the person. Done. And if the person is respectful of you, they'll be like, I won't say it again. I'm sorry. That's it. Yeah, like being bullied and the stuff that I've had to deal with, seeing how it affected me, I've grown to be a much more empathetic person. However, there are some people who don't go that route. They either get meaner, they tend to be more closed off. It creates lasting effects to some people. Some people are able to just brush it off and be like, it's just high school, whatever. But again, everyone's different. Everyone's their own person. So it's really hard to tell you how other people are going to react to it. I can tell you how I reacted to it, and I became a more empathetic person. I became more understanding of people. And if someone tells me, if I respect them, like, for instance, if I said something to Meow, who is my best friend, if I said something that hurt her, and she came to me and was like, you said this to me and I didn't like it. It really hurt me. I would apologize and I would say, I will never say that again, ever. And I am sorry. And then it would be the end of the conversation. I think a lot of people saying no and I don't like that are completely valid and fine. You don't really need to expand. You can say, I don't like it. No. Period. That's it. Maybe it's still because I have an old school way of thinking, and maybe it's times, but yeah, it's something that gets instilled in you, and if you keep having those, like, because my sister is very much like that, just develop thicker skin type of person, and I was told that, and I went a totally different way. It happens. You know. What is happening here? We are reading the Twitch TOS updates and discussing. Well, Skinleys, how nice you are to other people. Yeah, all you can do is hope that another person will actually understand what you want to say or are saying to them. All right. I agree. You should just try to be kind to your friends. And it happens a lot of people, because people grow up so differently. If you say something that would be totally fine around a certain group of people and they wouldn't think twice about it, and then you say it to someone who has grown up in a totally different way and they're hurt by it, you don't know unless they tell you. Oh yeah, the old pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of thing. I heard that a lot too. That was more like my parents' generation. All right. I think we had trying to find where I was reading. Okay, glorifying, endorsing, or expressing approval of a person's past or current traumatic events. Telling a victim of a violent crime of their kin that they deserved it. Oh my god. Encouraging a person to K themselves. Some of these I'm being very vague with because I'm just not, I don't know if Twitch is gonna like grab these. I'm literally just reading their TOS, but I'm still kind of worried about it. Making implications or physical threats to another. Note that explicit threats or violence are handled under the violence and threats, which they talked about that earlier, and that is something that they will turn over basically to authorities, is what was said earlier. Yeah, targeting or repeated personal attacks, repeating or sending personal insults to a broadcaster after being timed out, browsing other broadcasters' channel streams and then insulting them related to their intelligence or appearance, which that happens pretty often on Twitch, surprisingly, so glad they added that. Sharing negative, doctored, or artistic content to abuse or degrade a person. Creating deep fake videos. Very glad they added that one. Drawing or images of another person, purpose to mocking them or attacking them, inciting viewers. That one's always been there. You never should send your viewers to incite hate to another person. Organizing or participating in hostile raids, directly opening a user's stream and then directing personal attacks towards them, malicious content towards legitimate business or private persons, calling customer support lines to repeatedly hang up, calling restaurants and placing fake orders, deliberately non-consensual in-game stream sniping, including another person's stream to gain competitive. Oh, this one's actually pretty prevalent now, because I was watching a stream of a person who was playing Deadlock, and there was a huge group. They were like 4 stacking, and no, we're not insinuating that. Don't do that either. That's not funny at all, honestly. But they were 4 stacking, and they had someone watching someone stream, and then they were immediately trying to stream snipe them so they could 4 stack them and then cause the other people to lose because they weren't stacking. stalking, ignoring persons' established physical boundaries, broadcasting another person who has denied consent, broadcasting in a location that is prohibited, creating accounts dedicated to harassment, so even through abusive usernames. Again, that's just like creating accounts. I would assume that they would eventually IP ban the person, but I guess just banning them, I thought that would send it to Twitch, you know? That they would be like, boom, this person has created X amount of accounts, then they should just be IP banned, is what I thought happened, but I guess I'm wrong. Everyone deserves love and support and kindness, that's a fact, but it's wrong to just tell someone to pull themselves together and get a grip. Won't work on everyone, that I know. Yeah, it's like telling someone not to be sad. Like, you don't know what they're going through. Don't say that to somebody. It's a weird, it's a lot of human interaction and natures, and a lot of people aren't good at socializing. I know that COVID set me back socially to where I was not very good at it for a long time, but I've like slowly regained being more good at socializing. But you know, COVID took a lot of people's growing part of where they would be conversing a lot in school, part-time jobs, stuff like that. Took that away from them, and now they don't have that, or they're trying to gain it now. They're likely trying to catch mayonnaise, so they're doing something with IP. I guess they haven't. Maybe I'm crazy to think they IP banned, but I thought it was a thing. But I guess if someone's using a VPN, the site itself wouldn't be able to do that. I've never used IP bans before, so I'm not sure how they would work for the site. But I've never ran a site like Twitch before, so what do I know? But I assumed they had IP ban stuff, but maybe I'm wrong. Because I could have swear I saw it in like settings somewhere, where it's like likely ban evaders, which I thought likely ban evaders meant they were trying to IP ban, like Al said. VPNs are IP ranges and one person to get the right. Who knows what Twitch does? I'm just here to read the rules. Off the top of my head, only remember one case. It involved a court case back when in the time of Justin TV turned to Twitch. Oh. I'll have to look that up, because I signed up for Twitch, I think after it became Twitch. Like, it was originally Justin, and then right when it turned to Twitch is when I signed up for it. You've always been quite an improve. Oh no, you're fine. I try to understand where a lot of people come from with what they say, and I try to be the most understanding that I can be. But you know, if you say something I do not like, I'll tell you. I'm very upfront about that kind of stuff. Like, if I don't like what you're saying, I'll be like, hey, stop it. I've been bullied all my life, and all the people just tell you to get over it, and that they continue that the trauma is gonna make you stronger. Yeah, it's very weird that people think that it's gonna make you stronger, because it does have a different effect for everyone. It's not so black and white, and I think a lot of people don't see it that way. Everything is, excuse me. I think everything is very black and white for people, but in reality, in the world that we all live in, everything is more of a morally gray, and it's again, just human nature, human semantics. It's a weird situation. I remember when I asked you guys, you know, if you are a good person and someone is walking on the side of the road and they ask for a ride, would you pick them up? And everyone says no. And I totally understand why you say no, and it's because you don't know what that person's going to do. But in fact, if you think about it, the good person would pick another person up and give them a ride somewhere. But the reality is that you don't know what that person's gonna do. You don't know if they're gonna hurt you. You don't know. And the unknown makes you not do that. So not picking up that person is a totally fine answer, and it doesn't make you a bad person, because you have to have some form of self-preservation. And that's important. Like, everyone needs to have self-preservation. You have to protect yourself. Even in the things of, you have a friend who's very morally draining. They are so needy to you. They need help. They constantly need you to help them with their problems. You're basically their therapist for free. And you tell them to get therapy, they won't get it. You cutting off that friendship is totally valid. It doesn't make you a bad person for not wanting to help that friend anymore because they are taking advantage of you. And that's just the way it is. Certain things don't make you a bad person. It's what you do with your life. It's very hard to say what's bad, what's good. That game we recently played, one bad day shouldn't define your entire life. And to an extent, yeah, that's true, but to some other extent, maybe not. It's very strange. It's a lot to think about, and I think about this shit a lot, like human nature, what people do, what being a good person is, and I think that's a part of why I've changed so much over like these last few years. Is I haven't actually talked about this with anyone. A long time ago, I asked myself, am I a good person? Do I think I'm a good person? My answer was no. I said no. I wasn't the worst person, but I didn't think I was a good person. So I took what I thought, the things that I had done wrong, things I had even said in the past, like when I was super young, didn't know better. I took all the things that I thought were not right, thought about them. I was like, that's the stuff that I don't want part of me anymore. I understood that, when I was younger, it's a learning experience. The things I said, people were okay with. I'm not okay with now, and I haven't been okay with for a long time. That's in the past now. Move on and do the things that you want to do and be the change that you want to be. And that's just what I've been doing for like years now, is trying to be the change that I want to be and see in the world. Sorry if that got kind of deep. Being someone just randomly coming up into you and requesting something and you don't know them, it's just jarring at first. Like, if people randomly come up and talk to you, it always sets me off on edge, because you never expect it when they like just come off to you and they're like, hey, and it's like, oh, it's like jump scare. Do you remember that commercial where they were driving past the hitchhikers and they were passed by Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and then they stopped for Michael Myers because he had a beer? No, I don't remember that commercial at all. There's a chance the new relationship being formed. Hitchhiker. Yeah. It's more of a horror situation than like a funny rom-com. Funny situation, funny story. Also, like, Hitchhikers kind of set me off on edge because I don't know if anyone's read the Left-Right game. I was introduced to it on one of the Papa Meat Creepcast, and they read the Left-Right game, and there's a part at the beginning with the hitchhiker, and the guy's like, don't talk to him. Because if you do, you're done. And he starts off like really happy and totally normal and like, how are you doing today? How this, that, and he's being really kind, very nice. And then all of a sudden he totally changes it up and he's like, yeah, you always fucking were a disappointment to the girl in the car. And she almost turns around and talks to him. And that change up, whew, it gave me chills. Ugh. The fact that you ask yourself those questions means you're a better person. Yeah, all you can do is like ask yourself questions and reflect on them and just be honest with yourself. A lot of people, when you're younger, when you don't know better, when you think you're doing fine, everything right, being honest with yourself is pretty hard. It's a hard thing to do. Yeah, the Twitter is a beast of its own. It's very weird there. I'm not super interested in a lot of stuff that's posted. Even because I decided to reply to Twitch's post and then I read some of the shit that people said to them. And a lot of them were just posting stuff from the bikini. We're gonna get to it when we continue reading the rules, but a lot of people were like, well, this is okay, and it was like the bikini category, and it's like, well, yes, actually it is okay if you read the rules. It's fine that they're doing that as long as they're in the beach category. But in my personal opinion, I don't think we should even have a beach category. I think everything should just kind of be in IRL, because if you're gonna go to a beach or a pool, it's outside. And I've always thought the awkwardness of setting up a hot tub in a room it's a very weird, it's weird. It's just so unnatural. Also, what happens when that shit busts? Like, something's gonna put a hole in it. Like, if you have a cat, it's immediately going to claw it, and your inflatable little hot tub is gonna be all over your living room, ruining your electronics. Not a good idea. Not good. Seems pointless. It's a loopholing thing. It's quite funny, to be honest, because if I was like, oh yeah, pool, hot tub category, you know, just go to a pool or hot tub. But putting a hot tub in your house, in a room, is the most humorous thing that I think I have ever seen. It's so silly. Yeah, the mold. It can cause so many problems. It's so crazy. Listen, that's half of who I follow on Twitter. It's just artists. I just follow a ton of artists, but occasionally, like, because I do follow VTubers, there's always so much drama in the VTuber sphere. I've tried to mute as many words as I can for it, but it breaks through. How much money I'm going to make on my hot tub stream, I won't care what. Yeah, you're gonna be able to pay for it, but still the mold, like, ugh. Listen, there are some great things that I think have come from the pool and hot tub category. Was it Germa who did like the wizard? And he was in a hot tub and he was just like fully in a wizard costume. That was some of the funniest gag that I've ever seen. It was hilarious. It was so funny. Muting, it doesn't. You can mute them for like hours or like forever, but it doesn't work. It doesn't. You're right, it doesn't work. Okay, so I think, what did we just go over? We went over harassment. Okay, we're on sexual harassment. Twitch firmly oppresses sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is never acceptable, whether the words are directed at others on or off Twitch. We define sexual harassment to encompass non-physical behaviors or sexual natures as caused to make you feel uncomfortable, degraded, unsafe, discouraged, or discouraged from participating. Of course, Germa's God. I love his content. Oh no, enjoy your sleep. Thank you for chatting. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and thanks for joining. I appreciate it. We prohibit unwanted comments, including comments made with emojis or I'm sorry, it's just so funny because if someone were to like emote you something like weird and sexual, my first reaction would be like, what's wrong with you? That would be my first instinct. And just seeing like a lineup of emotes would be very weird. I'd be like, what is this? To be honest, Meow would probably make me Google it. Let's be real. She'd be like, what do these emotes mean? And then she'd send these to me, and then I'd have to Google them and try to figure, we'd have to like fucking decipher what they mean. That's what the reality of what would happen. Regarding someone's appearance, body. Oh shit, okay. Hey, what do these emotes mean? All right, so we got meow with Cheeto face, tongue, middle tongue, eyeball from, is that Monster Rancher? What does that mean? God, I feel like we're trying to decode some shit. Huh. I think what you're saying is that someone, maybe your pet, I feel like I'm a tarot card reader right now. Someone, maybe your pet, wants to lick the Cheeto dust off your face, possibly on Wednesday, around 5 p.m. Yeah, that's what I foresee in your future. Your cat is going to come and lick the Cheeto dust off your face. Enjoy. Actually, modern day hieroglyphics. It's like fucking finding Pickle Rick at Egypt. Oh, wizard. I'll see you at 5 p.m. to see if this was true. On someone's appearance, body, sexual advances or request or advances, sexual objectification, negative statements or attacks related to a person's perceived sexual behaviors or activities regarding their gender. We will not tolerate recording or sharing of non-sexual intimate images or videos under any circumstance. You may report such contents to law enforcement. It's what you should do. I think a lot of people don't understand a lot of this stuff. You can, even though it is online, you can report it to law enforcement. To the law. I think a lot of people don't know that, but you can. Things like threats and stuff, you can report those. Okay. Making an an unwanted sexual advance towards someone, whispering another with compliments about their appearance after being stopped, sending messages to another user calling them sexy after previously being timed out for similar behavior, asking another user to expose their non-sexual body parts, such as their feet, after receiving a chat warning. Oh my god. Not funny, just like funny that someone would think about doing this. Persist in asking about someone's sexual experience or history after it being unwanted, sending nude videos to another person, directing others to sexually explicit content. All right. Weirdly, this is something I deal with as a VTuber, and you know, it's whatever. People think, oh, hi anime girl, awooga, awooga, eyes pop out of head, tongue drop to floor and roll across the floor. Yeah, I don't tolerate that shit. Never have, never will. I get the most off the wall comments on like my YouTube VODs, where it's like, oh my god, if you look anything like your model, and it's like, no, I don't look like my fucking anime girl. I don't. Sorry, immersion break. I don't look like an anime woman with disproportionate sizes. No, I don't. Oh my god, VTuber. Also, nice choice of emote EDF. Very good choice. Oh shit. Excellent choice of emote. But yeah, like, just don't do this shit. Okay, I'm gonna start. Oh wait, no, I can't close each one. Oh no, you've been tricked. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not rocket science. If you think a person looks like their VTuber, they don't. They look like themselves. Do VTubers sometimes get like kind of reference to the person? Yeah. But sometimes they don't. Listen, if there's a girl who's a tiefling, she's not a tiefling in real life. Shocker. Spooked ya, she's a human. Not a tiefling, not a dragon girl, not, what's another one? What's another crazy off the wall one? Not a moth, not a cryptid. They're not Mothman. Sorry. They're not. I'm so sorry. You're not talking to an actual Mothman. That's a little heartbreaking. I know. They're not a whale. They're not. They're not. I'm sorry. As someone who joined during the Funko Pop phase, and can't believe the game brought me here. The game? The fuck? The game? The game? Should have been. The answer should be my personality. The fuck? You're not a witch IRL? You don't make funny little potions? No, I don't. I mean, I put like, you know, the water additives? I put those in my water. That count? That counts. That's a funny little potion. I add my grape flavor to my water. Same thing. Nope, at the end of the day, VTubers are avatars, not an actual person. Yeah, the people who actually just see avatar or like a VTuber as not a real person, like there is a person behind it. Who's talking? It's not AI, I promise. Sorry, I meant your gameplay, not the game. Nice try to save. I cast tasty water. Delicious. It's cherry flavored. Okay. Making unsolicited objectification statements about us body parts to sexualize a body part or practices of another person. Making sexually focused comments towards another person's breasts, buttocks, or genitals. Commenting on another person's perceived sexual ability or lack thereof. Oh, fuck. Commenting on how sexually aroused you are based on a person's feature. What? Making requests for sexual favors unsolicited. Statements referring to performing a graphic sexual act on another person. Asking the streamer to expose themselves or send nudes. Whispering others to perform graphic sexual acts. Discussing or a desire to perform those acts, making derogatory statements about the person's sexual practices, sexual morality, or sexual health, alleging a person's sexually immoral due to their attire or physical appearance, stating a person's attire reflects a negative way of their sexual practices, suggesting a person's channel is only popular because of are not suspended due to sexual favors, or repeatedly being negative with sexually focused based terms such as, I don't want to say either of those because they're banned words, claiming the person isn't, making claims another person is likely to be carrying a sexually transmitted disease. Holy God. Who would say this to another person? They must have witnessed some crazy shit. Also, that's your one soup. It's your one. We're limiting slang words. And I have to do it. You can thank Meow. We have to limit slang words because of Meow, because she kept using skibbity toilet. It does bring out the worst behavior. It really does. Oh, okay. Attempting to coerce or provide sexual content or favors for threats, bribes, or inducements. Offering to promote a person's channel for sexual favors, which I do think that did happen. I'm not sure who it was, but I remember hearing something about that. Threatening retribution against a person if they don't share the sexual imagery, advocating or expressing a desire to commit a sexual violence act against another person, which also that would be a reportable offense. It's in safety, they've covered that. Abdicating the desire, expressing a wish for another person. Oh my God, to experience SA. Holy shit. Directing another person to carry out a non-consensual act. Ugh. Discussing the desire to commit. I feel icky reading this. Share or threaten to share non-consensual imagery or videos, deliberately recording sexual body parts, or intimate activities with another without their awareness. This is shit that gets you sent to jail. Offering a private video for another person without permission. Sharing or leaking nudes, creating or sharing a deep fake doctored video, which I believe that one was added because a while ago there were some deep fakes of like bigger streamers going around. And that was quite disgusting. Deep fake, I think, is way more of an issue than a lot of people know. Even like in real life, I think deep fake and AI stuff is going to start becoming a lot more troublesome. And like law enforcement stuff is gonna have to be like written for that, because that shit's scary, and I think it's happening a lot across like not over the pond, but like in China, I believe. I think it's like really bad there. Yeah, they make me so sad that it needs to be stated, but I understand why it needs to be stated. Because these are real issues that some people have to deal with. Even if it's just one person, it needs to be put in. Like, they have to write the rule for it, because people need to know. When applicable, unique bans. I'm just going over this. Yeah, basically, don't encourage your streams to do this, and just behave and not be a gross human being. That was very icky to read. Oh, goodness gracious. There is also a frequently asked question for the respect section. I'm also going to copy this and put it into chat for Twitch. That way you guys can read this stuff as well. It went straight to the respect one, but if you scroll up, you can find the other ones too. I'll do it for YouTube too, just in case. This is what we're reading. Okay. Illegal activity. Breaking the law. Self-explanatory, don't break the law. For the safety of our communities, we require and respect all local, national, and international laws while using our service. Any content or activity featuring or encouraging or soliciting illegal activities will be reported and are prohibited and will be reported to the law enforcement. Don't do it. And then there's literally examples of trafficking, forced marriages, domestic servitude, selling drugs, firearms, counterfeit goods. Oh my gosh. Commit in the aid of destruction, defacement, or theft of people's property. Don't do illegal shit. My God. I understand why it needs to be written. I'll keep saying that. I understand why it's in there. But just seeing it is, honestly, it's just jarring. It's like, wow, it has to really be put out, huh? Has to be spelled out for people. But yeah, it actually does. It really does. I'm gonna keep listening. I gotta go until next time. All right, take care, Ender. Thanks for joining and thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what Kick's for. Oh yeah, I had a Kick account. I think I deleted it. But yeah, I don't ever want to stream on there after the stuff I've seen. They kind of promote and do. It's kind of icky. Big ick, you know? I've almost chugged this entire thing of water and we've only been live for 2 hours. And I feel like I'm barely halfway through this document. Intellectual properties and rights. In order to protect the intellectual property and rights of others and comply with intellectual property laws, we do not allow users to share content on their Twitch channel that they do not have the rights to share. For example, without permission, from the right holders, unless otherwise permitted, you may not share performing others' copyrighted content, including playing copyrighted songs, other Twitch creators' content or content from other sites, pirating games or contents from unauthorized private servers, movies, television shows, sports matches, music you do not own the rights to share, including music streamed in the background of a user's broadcast, goods or services protected by trademark, closed alphas, betas, or pre-releases of games. We should ask that you respect the publisher, developer enforcement, release date embargoes, and NDAs by waiting to broadcast a game until everyone gets to. Unless you have prior approval, your channel may be subjected to a DMCA takedown. So this is what I have a problem with. And that I think they really need to actually enforce this, because the entire just chatting section, the more you scroll in it, it's people literally playing movies. There's so many channels that are just playing movies, or everyone who does react content. I don't like react content. I never have, never will. The react content, because I can guarantee you that a lot of those people don't have approval from the people who made that video, because they think it's under, it is under like another copyright law. Emulation as well. That's what I'm wondering. Emulation as well, because people are having to pull those games from other places. So technically it's kind of like ripping them. But there's so many things. And also people who have branding and do stuff like they have Pokemon emotes. They have channel emotes that are from other series and stuff like that. that technically is kind of copyright. Copyright has always been a really gray area with fan art. And I've watched a bit on this because I was intrigued to know how vendors at cons would make fan art of stuff and then be allowed to sell it. And because it is their art, they are allowed to sell it because it's their art, but the character isn't theirs. So it is a huge gray area for it, and it's very weird. It's a very interesting topic. If you guys want to look it up on YouTube and like watch videos about it, it's knowing copyright law is honestly a very good thing to know. It's interesting, but there's so many things. People emulating games. There's everyone in just chatting. People were watching The Simpsons. They're watching Futurama. They're watching stuff that's not domain free in just chatting. It's very weird. So I like that they put it. I don't think they're really going to enforce it, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. This is the most I have talked in quite a while. So I literally have chugged my entire water bottle. I'm gonna BRB. I'm gonna go get some more water. And I will be right back, guys. Meow, don't say that. I might get banned. Don't say that. Shh. Meow. You don't feel attacked, okay? Shh. Shh. Sweet baby. I love you. I don't mind that you're chasing me. It's cool. Stop typing it! I'm sorry, Dad, please come home. I've been writing the hotel for ages. Okay. All right, we just went over intellectual properties, which again, I have opinions on because there are people, if you click to just chatting right now, honestly, let me do it. I'll tell you. Let's see. Browse. Just chatting. Let me scroll down. There's someone watching Jump Street in the third line. Someone watching South Park. Teletubbies. Oh, I think that's just a meme. Never mind. I don't know why you would watch Teletubbies on here anyway. Someone watching anime. They're watching, I think that's 7 Deadly Sins. Some series, I don't know, but it looks like they're watching a movie. South Park. South Park. Or no, The Simpsons, sorry. They're even called The Simpsons. Can you watch The Simpsons on here? Someone's watching Dragon Ball Z, Family Guy. Yeah, so if you're wondering where your bandwidth went, that's where it's going, Twitch. Maybe disband those people for watching shit they shouldn't, just permanently. What up, Zello? Turns out you're the only one watching, just chatting. I'm not doing React content. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I honestly don't care what people do with how they want to make content, but you know, just watching other people's videos. Like shit, if we just want to watch YouTube videos together, shit, I can make some playlists, guys. I watch some good shit. Let's see if we can find someone watching. I doubt it. I doubt anyone's watching me in the just chatting section. Mostly because I feel like my opinions are a little too much for most people at times. I get a little too real, I feel. Even for the VTuber community, I think I get a little too real and honest. And it takes people out of it, which I get. I understand. You're watching to not think about the real world, but shit, if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. So sensitive content is now what we are on. Oh crap, we only have one more thing, which is authenticity after this. Let's see how many sections. Oh, there are a lot of sections in sensitive content. Okay. Would Teletubbies be best compared to Cocomelon or Skibidi Toilet? Cocomelon? I think Cocomelon. Cocomelon is like a baby sensory video, right? I think that's what that is, where they're like, Cocomelon. And then that's like all they say. I think that's it. I think that's all that happens. Sensitive content, extreme violent score, and obscene conduct. I feel like we have literally went over everything in other categories for this. But although we allow variety content to be shown on Twitch, content that is extreme violent score or disturbing and distressing, especially with death, mutilation, blood, and stuff, it's prohibited, which it should be. Show content that shows death or extreme injury. Browse 4chan, the dark web, or PORN on Twitch. Why the fuck would you do that? Use randomized video chat services. They're talking about Omegle, which is literally PP roulette. Long dong magong roulette. That's all that is. I saw a video talking about how super evil Coco Melon was. What the hell is Skibbity Toilet? Ask Meow. She made me look it up. Also, I forgot already, so I can't tell you what it actually is. I can't remember. Can you look it up again? No! You look it up this time. I think it's like the toilet series. It's on YouTube. Sexual content. To ensure content. I just want to learn. Look it up yourself. Use your phone. You Google it. It's your turn. Sick of Googling stuff. I already Googled enough when you made me look up that weird video for Mom's Spaghetti, and then it was just Tim and Eric slapping a wall while a lady came and looked down at them a couple times and was like, "Oh, you guys." And it was very weird, and they just kept screaming. It was so weird. It was so strange. To ensure content on Twitch is appropriate for diverse audience, certain sexual content is prohibited, regardless of the medium used to create it, digital or non-digital. Super. Thank you so much for the follow. Users are prohibited from broadcasting, uploading, soliciting, promoting, offering, or linking pornographic content. That's pretty self-explanatory. Hello. Good lord, they have a lot of examples. I really don't envy the person who had to write up all these examples on Twitch. Explicit, simulated, fictional, or implied sex, or you know, the one that starts with M. I'm not comfortable saying it. This includes mouth, listen, all forms of stuff. Just don't, yeah. I'm so uncomfortable reading this. It's wild. Displaying body fluid. Oh my god. I'm so uncomfortable reading this stuff, guys. But I want to read it because I need to know. I need to know the TOS. What's up, Ark? Advertising, sexual services, including escort, massage, just don't do sexual activities on Twitch. It's, oh my god. Content that, interesting. Content that focuses on clothed intimate body parts such as the buttocks, groin, or breast for an extended period of time. During the great, oh my gosh, what was it? It was like when everyone was really testing TOS and they were doing the, like pics, they were making themselves look like Sims essentially when they took showers, where they had like the pixel stuff over their like their bottom area and their top area, or the black bars across that stuff. I went through such a huge ban fest on Twitch because there was, I don't think on the page itself, I haven't done it in a while, but like at the time I couldn't click it and be like, not interested, don't show me this content anymore on the web page, but I could on the app, which was weird. So I just started banning or blocking the accounts totally, because I was like, I don't want to see this. Like, it's fine if you want to do it, I don't give a shit, but I didn't want to see it. And now they have thankfully added like blur filters, which thank goodness, like the blur filter for inappropriate streams, I am so thankful for. I saw there was nothing. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because I have a problem with it because it doesn't make any sense. But again, if you see someone with, which is a lot. There's a few streamers that do that. Even in the pool and stuff section where you're allowed to wear skimpier outfits, the focusing on it, no matter what section it is in, it seems like is what they are implying. So if content, any category focuses on intimate body parts, clothed or otherwise, buttocks, groin, breast, or extended for an extended period of time will be banned, is what I am understanding from this. What the hell? Oh my god. Consensual sexual violence such as flogging or whipping another person. Non-consensual sexual violence, which again, we covered that earlier in the, I think that was in like safety as well. That's stuff that will be reported to authorities. Graphic depictions of sexual acts and phone sex or erotica? Yo, how much you want to bet someone was actually reading like inappropriate fan fiction? Oh yeah. Yep. I didn't even think about that, meow. Displaying of sex toys in a non-educational context, such as bragging about the size of a dildo. Who the hell's done that? What? Oh my goodness. The foregoing list is not exhaustive. Twitch reserves the right to remove content that is deemed inappropriate. Is the best kind. But yeah, I mean, like, I wonder if someone was like reading it on Twitch, which also, side note for back to intellectual property, if you read a book, like if, say I got like an R.L. Stine book to read for Halloween, and I read that to you guys, I would technically not be allowed to read that because that is someone's intellectual property. I wouldn't be allowed to read that to you guys. At least if I'm understanding the intellectual property correctly, I think that would be implied in it. Okay, so direct links to the website and primarily provide sexual content are not allowed in your overlay, bio, sent in chat, or otherwise. That's good. If any, oh, interesting. Okay. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. If any links to this kind of content through methods such as link aggravator? I don't know what those are. What are link aggravators? People who just like post links or like linked trees or stuff? Twitch may apply a sexual theme content classification over your stream for a set amount of time. So if they get caught doing this, they are gonna get the sexual themes content classification. Interesting. We allow certain types of sexual themes, providing it is an educational nature, has relevant content classifications labeled, applied to the stream, and does not break our TOS guidelines with nudity. So I honestly, I think more people need to do this. I think people aren't like very knowledgeable on sexual stuff, and like when you're in school, like all you really learn about are STDs. At least that's all I learned about. What STDs do to you, what they do to your body, and how horrible everything is. That's basically what you learn. And having people who want to actually educate people on it is, I think, really good. I think Project Melody does a few of these streams, and she does them right. I also think the Cottontail VA, I think she's done a few streams on this. They are, I like that in an educational purpose, it is allowed because I do think people need to be educated on it. Allowed examples, you may have content which shows cases on how to apply a condom on a banana, provided it is intended intended for education. That's fine. Positioning a camera to highlight intimate body parts is not allowed. Prohibited stretching your legs apart in view of the camera for an extended amount of time. Hey, meow. Reading this made me think of that beaver movie we watched, the Killer Beaver one, where the girl was like running from the beaver, who I think, did the beaver have a knife? I think it had a knife. And she was like backing up on the table. Zombievers. That shit was so wicked stupid. It was so funny. But the camera was like literally focused on her crotch area as she like backed away. And that's the first thing that came to mind. Like, yes, don't do what they do in Zombievers. A classic education moment. Don't do what they do in Zombievers. Guys, listen. It was such a bad horror movie. It was so funny. So if you're gonna watch a silly, goofy horror movie, I think it's rated R, so, you know, be of age to watch it. But Zombievers is so hilarious. It was so funny. The moment the dude's getting his like foot bitten off and they're like, you're just being a hypochondriac. I'll never forget it. It was so funny. Okay. Artistic depictions of nudity are only allowed in the context of public art. It was a bit raunchy, but it was so funny. Allowed examples: showing a nude statue in City Square or streaming a museum for art or his history literature or lecture, I'm sorry. If prohibited sexual content is shared on your account, it will be suspended. If you are insured if you link a, wait. It will be suspended. If you are unsure if a link, video, or photo or other content is broadcast abides by the community guidelines, we suggest you review it privately before airing it. You should. The Evil Bong series, I feel like I've heard of that, but I have never watched it. There are really some like cult classics for horror movies that they're not very good horror movies, but they are such fun watches. One of my favorite horror movies is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It is so funny. It's great. If you're gonna watch horror movies, let Tucker and Dale versus Evil be one of them. It's hilarious. If your channel is reported multiple times in a short period of time for sexual content or any other policy violation, this will not result in a channel suspension. If you've done nothing wrong, all our sexual content enforcements are manually reviewed and issued. Emotes, badges, cheer emotes are subject to our policies. Because subscriber emotes are available and are used globally across Twitch and highly visible outside of their original channel, our emote guidelines may be a bit more restrictive to our community guidelines in some instances. Please refer to the emote guidelines to review specific sexual conduct. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is a lot of yapping, guys. But I'm glad we're going over this. I feel like we're all becoming a lot more knowledgeable on what the TOS is, because I feel like a lot of people don't read this. And when I saw the comments under my comment on the Twitch support post, I was like, yeah, they didn't read this. So that's kind of why I wanted to go over it today. Games featuring nudity, pornographic sex, or sexual violence as a core focus or feature of entirely prohibited custom, gameplay, or visual modifications that include nudity or sexual content, including uncensored patches, and otherwise allowed games are prohibited. For example, where nudity is not the core focus of the game, a mature game classifies with the mature content label for incidental nudity. However, sexual themed contents labeled must be applied to gameplay that includes nudity, but is not the focus of the game. What? However, the sexual themes content must be applied to a gameplay that includes nudity, but is not the main focus of the game. Well, how are you going to know there's nudity in it if you're playing it for the first time? Allowed example, streaming Grand Theft Auto 5 with the mature rating classification on the label. Yeah, like Leisure Suit Larry is a banned game, so you should never play it on Twitch. But if I don't know, like if I'm playing it for the first time, like when I played The Witcher for the first time, I did not know there was like a sex scene in it. But also, it's kind of optional if you make bad decisions, I think. Sid, thanks for the follow. Users may not engage in simulated sexual activities or erotic roleplay with others in online games, primarily consistent of user-generated in-game roleplay. That's fine. That's a fair one. I think someone said that if the GTA roleplay, there were like some people kind of doing that, which is unfortunate. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day. Prohibited example, simulating a sexual activity in VR chat. That is all of VR chat. I feel like that's all the time in VR chat. Like, that's why everyone just has to make a private room. VR chat is like, it's not a game. It's like a weird social experiment. It's crazy. As long as the attire is met, body painting on breast and buttocks is allowed with the sexual themed content warning. Here's my problem with the body painting versus art. So someone like Miao Yen, who is an artist, she drew my model. She cannot do art and put a blur filter, or even if she just got big emotes and like put them over the inappropriate parts. If she's just drawing like the base of a body that's gonna have clothes on it, that's not allowed. But someone who is doing body painting can put the tape over their breast and their genitals, and they're allowed to do that. How that's fair, I don't understand. I don't get that. I'm gonna be real. I personally do not think the human body is sexual in just looking at it. Like if you were just to look at a pair of boobs, not doing anything, just sitting there, that's not sexual. It's just boobs, you know, whatever. It's the things that you do with your body that make it more sexualized. Body painting, I'm fine with, because I think people make some really cool shit with body painting. It's neat. But why artists can't just cover where the boobs and where the genital is going to be, like why you can't just cover that and draw it is weird to me. I don't get it, especially if they're going to be clothed, because they're usually you're just drawing like Barbie doll. You know, you're not really putting areola on stuff, you're not, you know, putting the vagina or anything. It's just like a Barbie doll or a Ken doll, but you do the base and then you put the clothes on top so it doesn't look, you know, you can better form it for clothing and such. So don't really understand that. Whatever. Okay. Adults nudity. How far are we in this? Okay, we're almost at attire. Whew, this is a lot. Okay, adult nudity. Users are prohibited from broadcasting, uploading content that contains depictions of real or fictional nudity, regardless of the medium it is created in, including censoring such as pixelization, mosaic, blurring, sheer, or partially see-through clothing do not constitute. However, the body painters can put the stuff on their breast and their genitals or whatever they need to cover up, but an artist can't do that. Doesn't make a lot of sense. It does not make sense to me because it's just art. And unless they are drawing like, which you should not be allowed to draw like very extreme sexual stuff, which we covered in, you know, the sexual part of this portion. Like, unless none of that, as long as you're not drawing like sexual scenes. If you're just drawing a person, Barbie doll, you know, so you can get the breast looking right, how they're gonna look under the shirt. If you're just blurring it out or putting huge emotes over it, I don't see a problem with it. Exposed anuses or fully unclothed, exposed entire buttocks. This is, you may not show or promote. Who did this? The amount of exposed genitals, which I just don't think you should be able to do that. Female presenting individuals, breast with exposed nipples, unless actively breastfeeding a child. Art history education content or public art might feature nude figures. They are exempt from the policy. And it's just weird. I feel like they really need to give artists more. Yeah, I get not being allowed to draw areola or, you know, super sexual scenes, but I think being able to just draw people be Barbie doll, you know, I think that's fine. Whoever was drawing an exposed anus, though, why? What? That's just, oh God. For real, who? Oh my goodness. All right, we are at the one everyone was pissed off about, attire. In order to set consistent standards that allow creators to express themselves without exposing our community to inappropriate content, we have a attire policy with detailed examples, they're not that detailed, with why we aim to be transparent around standards and expectations to empower creative expression and boost creators' confidence with a clear understanding to our guidelines. The list of contextual exceptions outlined below. Actually, I probably should have. Let me add that to the stream. Yeah, but I think telling people or telling artists, like, as long as if they are drawing something and have like, I think blurs and stuff are okay. Like, I think that's fine for art, as long as they're not drawing something like super sexual, and then tell them that, like, don't draw sex scenes or depictions of sexual behaviors, you know? If you're just drawing a girl with her top off, that you're going to be putting a top on, but it's going to be Barbie doll. But, you know, would just drawing the Barbie doll stuff be okay? Because it seems like that's not okay, because it's going to look bad, you know? It's very weird. So I feel like they need to get a little more clear with what artists can and can't do. That was such a small section for artists. So I think giving more examples and being super concise with like what will not get them in trouble would greatly help them. Because to be honest, artists are a big part of Twitch. All our emotes, VTubers, their branding, all of the design, site design, stuff like that, graphics, that's a form of art. So I think they need to be a little bit more detailed in that section and it not just be this small little blurb. Okay. The list of contextual exceptions outlined below is not exhaustive. If you find yourself in a situation not described by the exception, then we expect you to follow the standard guidelines. All right, expanding the standard guidelines. We don't permit streamers, their co-host, or invited guest to be fully or partially nude, including exposing genital or buttocks, nor do we permit streamers to simply imply or suggest that they are fully or partially nude, including but not limited to covering breast or genitals with objects like sensor bars. We do not permit the visible outline of genitals even when covered. Broadcasting nude or partially nude minors is prohibited regardless of the context. Also, that will get you turned in. We looked in the youth section. That is going to be reported to law enforcement if you do that. Okay, for those who present as women, we ask that you cover your nipples, areolas, and do not expose your underbust. Cleavage is unrestricted as long as these are covered. As long as these covered requirements are met. It is clear that the streamer is wearing clothes. That's fine, that's been in there. For all streamers, you must cover the extended area of your hip to your bottom of your pelvis or buttocks. That's always been there. Billy, thank you for the follow. For those areas of the body where coverage is required, the coverage must be fully opaque, sheer, or partially see-through clothing does not constitute as clothing. So just sheer fabrics, which I feel like this gets a little weird because some sheer stuff it covers quite a bit. It's not like super sheer, but then it goes into the area of opaque. Clothing's weird. But yeah, I personally prefer opaque anyway, so I think that's fine. Also, this has been in there. This is stuff that has not changed. That's not new. IRL streaming. Streamers, their co-host, and uninvited guest engaging in general IRL streaming outside the home must follow the buddy. I'm sorry. I've been talking so much that I'm misspeaking now. Oh, goodness. Okay. The standard body coverage exceptions. Those passing through the background of your stream are not held to the standard dress code requirements. The content does not have. Those passing through the background of your stream are not held to the same standard dress code requirement, and the content does not have to be placed in pools, hot tubs, or beaches category. But broadcasting nudity is not permitted regardless of the context. If accidental nudity appears on your stream, we expect you to take immediate action. Remove the content and take the precautionary steps so that it will not happen again. You should not focus your stream on anyone violating our clothing or sexual conduct standards. You will be held accountable for doing to the same extent as if you were violating the standards yourself. That's fair. Okay. This is where I think a lot of people get mad. But again, this has been in here since they introduced the beach stuff. This has always been there. Swimwear, short shorts, and bodysuits are permitted as long as they completely cover your genitals. and those who present as women must have their nipples and areolas covered. Full coverage of the buttocks is not required, but focusing the camera around them is still subject to the sexual content policy. So again, how I'm reading this is the people who are even in the pool category, if they have like 4 or 5 cameras set up to where, you know, one's focused on their buttocks, one's focused on their breast, the other one's focused on their genitals, they should get banned. That is how I'm reading this. Coverage must be fully opaque, even when wet. So fully opaque and stuff, that's like if you are wearing it on, if you're wearing like a, let's say it's a black swimsuit and it has like the sheer material on top of it, behind it should be another material that makes it look like a skin tone, but it makes it more opaque. That's what opaque is, if anyone's wondering. It's like a texture fabric on top of another fabric, whether it be colored to be skin toned, black, red, blue, like it's just the material on top of it and then another fabric behind it. That's what opaque is. Sheer or partially see-through swimsuits or other clothing do not constitute as coverage. Content subject to the contextual exceptions must be placed within pools, hot tubs, or the beaches category. Content that violates our standard attire guidelines is not subject to the contextual exceptions, e.g. wearing a bikini outside of a, wait, what? Content that violates the standard attire guidelines is not subject to the contextual exception. Wearing a bikini outside of a pool or beach setting is still a violation if not placed in the pool and beach category. So yeah, if you're wearing a beach and you're just in your house, if you're wearing a bikini, if you're wearing a bikini just in your house, rolling around, and you're not in the pool and beach and hot tub category, you're gonna get in trouble. Body art. For streams dedicated to body art, full coverage of the chest, or full chest coverage is not required. For those presenting as women, they must be covering their areola or nipples with a layer of non-transparent clothing, which is like that body tape that people use. Artist grade pasties, tape, latex, or similar alternatives are acceptable. This coverage must be applied before the stream begins, not on stream. Buttocks and genitals must also be fully covered with an opaque attire. In addition, we ask the streamers to add the sexual theme content label to their streams when they are painting their chest or buttocks. That's fine. This exception is to the general coverage requirement that only applies to streamers who actively engage in body painting. Through the streamer may take short breaks between the painting sessions when painting. Again, I'm fine with that. I just wish that artists kind of got the same. Like, this is so much more than what the artist category got. I wish they would elaborate a little more for people who want to draw art on Twitch. I wish they would also kind of get more concise language, like the body art got. Context transition. Streamers are given some leeway for making transitions between contexts with different limits of acceptable attire, beach to general indoor IRL streaming in situations. In these situations, streamers are expected to only spend as much time wearing sufficient attire as needed to add clothes to change off-screen or into clothing that will be appropriate for their new context. That seems a bit much. I mean, if you're like on vacation, you're at the beach and you're going to a restaurant, it is normal to, you know, have like an over thing over your swimsuit, whether it be like a little dress or one of those, like almost the see-through bikini things that people wear, or the things that go around your waist, and then just like a tank top. with flip-flops, it's so normal when you're in like beach country to do that. I feel like if you are outdoor streaming and you're going to like just a restaurant on the beach, hopefully people who just go into a restaurant and just have like still kind of beachwear on won't get in trouble. All right. Oh, this is this is a big one. Additional exceptions. The standard chest covering requirements outlined above do not apply to individuals actively breastfeeding a child on stream. Enforcement notes, clarifications, content warning. This is a big one. This is a lot. Okay. When evaluating reports of sexual content, attire is just one factor we will use to determine on whether the content or determination on whether conduct is acceptable. We recommend streamers wear attire that would be publicly appropriate for the context, location, or activity they are broadcasting. For example, workout clothes would be appropriate for a fitness stream or a swimsuit for a beach stream. I'm gonna tell you right now, fitness wear is rarely ever for the gym. That's why it's called athleisure, which just seems like so silly, but athleisure wear. People are wearing stuff you should wear to the gym to sit on their couch. That's just facts. So I think the fitness wear, you should maybe rethink that being the example, because people wear that shit just to go grocery shopping. The attire policy applies to VTubers in the same way it applies to other streamers. Excuse me. Genital, buttocks, hips, female presenting nipples, and underbust must be covered at all times on general streams. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Woo. So there's a lot of yapping. Must be covered at all times on general streams. These guidelines apply to VTubers, but hold on, I need to move my mouse to where I'm reading because sometimes I'll jump ahead because it's just so bright and white, and then all the black lettering and purple, it all looks the same. Where was I? These guidelines apply to VTuber models, but not video game characters. Understandable. You don't control what a video game character looks like. They're also sentient. Including those uploaded into the game of VR chat. Weird loophole. But I feel like VR chat characters could get in trouble. After reading this for a third time, video game characters, including those uploaded into games as VR chat. Custom models are not video game characters. If you're getting a custom model, you are a VTuber. However, I don't even recommend anyone click on the VR chat category because I did and I regretted it. It is, to me, it's just a little inappropriate. That it's content for people who want it, but to me it was a bit much. So I do think that VR chat models, considering a lot of people do get them to do other stuff, quote unquote, in VR chat, not on any kind of stream or platform, you can see a lot more. Most VTuber models, again, immersion break, don't have nipples or vagina. They're just blank Barbies. for a majority of all of the models, they are safe for work. There's nothing showing. There's nothing that's gonna pop out. You're never gonna have a nip slip unless you ask that from the artist. Funny story. Meow drew my model with the parts, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna use those. I was like, it's funny, and I love that that's what you did, but I do not safe for work content, so I don't need it. But it is something like people do ask for on VTuber models because they use it on other platforms such as, I don't even want to say them because I don't want to get in trouble, but you know, the other platforms that do allow that kind of content, they use that, which is fine. That's great. You know, get your bag, do what you want, do what makes you happy. I don't. I'm a Barbie doll under here. There's nothing to see. But it's the same thing for VR chat models. Like, some of them can be made into, like, there's nothing that's going to pop out, but some of them will have stuff that's going to pop out if it's put on there. So it's kind of weird. I feel like they should be included, and you know, just if you're going to get your model and you're going to use it on Twitch, I feel like you should probably just get 2 separate models, or just have one rendered if you want to use it for stuff that's not allowed on Twitch on other sites. Just get one with it rendered on, and then use the one that doesn't have it on Twitch. That would be my take. That would be what I think you should do. But again, who am I? We're yapping about the new TOS updates. I play VR chat with my girlfriend all the time, and we yeah, going into a public room in VR chat is so risky. The ones that I've been into, I've heard some of the most degenerate stuff I think I have ever heard in my life, and I wouldn't want anyone to hear it. But I just heard some off the wall shit, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. But yeah, like I said, I feel like VR chat is not really even a game. It's like a weird Russian social experiment. It's so weird. It's such a strange event. You really do meet, I mean, you meet a slew of people from all different backgrounds, which that's really neat. That's super cool. Oops. Sorry. That's really neat. I love that. In fact, I met we've rated her a couple times. I met Udine in a public VR chat lobby when I was with some friends, and she told me about her art, and me and her just bonded. I was like, oh my gosh, you do art? And then she showed us, and she was so happy to show us. And she showed us the little dogs that she drew, and everything was so cute. And she was like, yeah, I try to go to some conventions. She was so soft spoken, and I was just like, you're so cute. And we just sat there and we talked about conventions, and we talked about like the conventions she wanted to go to. It was so cute, and it was so wholesome. And you do have those kinds of interactions in VR chat, but most of the time it is, yeah, like Crystal said, it's very dangerous. I'm about to fall asleep, but I wish you the absolute. Oh, Lost, thank you so much. You take care and stay safe, okay? Thank you so much for dropping by and saying hi. Not to mention the sexual harassment is an issue. Yeah, I feel like if you go to a VR chat room in public, just going onto it on Twitch is just totally risky, because you hear just so much crazy shit that would, I feel like, be an immediate ban. All right. But yes, I do think that VR chat models should be under the same guidelines as everyone on Twitch, not just be the game stuff. But I digress again. Who am I? I'm just some person on Twitch. but I think they should follow the same rules because I don't think that Twitch's rules are bad. I do think the genitalia, the buttocks, the hips, and nipples should be covered and underbust. I love designs that show it. They're great. Just make them TOS friendly. Like you can just add cloth or add something or make a fun design still. The only thing I have with hip is a little weird to me because I've seen some of the greatest pants a couple years back that they were like panel pants, okay? So they had like, they were all black in the middle where the crotch was. The part next to it was like a sheer fabric so you could see through it. And then the other part was black and they were like bell bottoms. And the sheer part went up to where the hip is. But if you wore like underwear that were high, like string, you could like hide them in the waistband, but you would still be able to see the hip. So I'm wondering, would that get someone in trouble? Because it's technically a sheer fabric that wouldn't be covering the hip. So you could see the hip, but not really. It's kind of a weird situation, but I think that's with fashion in general. Again, I feel like women have way more options than men's clothing. Because that's how fashion is. For some reason, they want to deprive men's fashion and then give everything to another. And I've kind of always felt that way. Whenever I go into like a men's section at Target and to see that it's mostly t-shirts, jeans, a couple long sleeve shirts, I'm like, man, they really don't give anyone anything over here. Because honestly, a man could totally rock some pants that have like the sheer fabric that are bell bottoms. Go for it. It would be awesome. But unfortunately, they don't even have those options. So it's weird. I think the hip thing is very strange, but I think it's totally doable on Twitch. And also, you barely see the bottom of your model anyway. So, and usually you're sitting down. Everyone's usually just an upper half. So hip coverage is not that big of a deal to me. But also, I made sure, and Meow made sure, that all of my outfits were TOS compliant. But again, hip is not something new. They've always said it, but now, well, they have implied it, but now they have finally said it, which is great. After transitioning, it says, yeah, it's crazy that I feel they really need to do more for men's fashion. They need more. And it's unfortunate, like I said earlier, that I feel like men's fashion really expands when you get to like higher end retailers, like designer clothing. You get a lot more fun stuff. You get funner patterns, funner fabrics. You get so much colorful stuff where it's like if you go into like a modern day retailer, you barely get the color spectrum. You have khakis or blue jeans or black pants and long sleeve t-shirts, flannel t-shirts, but they're all like in the darker color spectrum. And it's just sad. Like, y'all could totally get some fun colors in men's clothing, but they just don't. Unless they want you to spend like an exuberant amount of money to get those like funner patterns and stuff. So I say men need funner fashion. They definitely do. Because I'm all for it. I love fun colors for everyone. Except Hawaiian shirts. I think Hawaiian shirts should be banned for everyone. I say this as a former Hawaiian shirt owner. Ban them, I say. Not all of them. Some of them are pretty good. But like they're really, I feel like there's like an Americanized Hawaiian shirt and they're always like blue or red. And that's it. That's all you get. And they're so bad. Sweaters and floor-length skirts are pretty comfortable though. So I get it. I understand. Also sweaters. It's sweater weather. So it's I I don't even think in like real life, I'm not fashionable at all. I wear like super oversized shit and I'm not fashionable, but I love fashion. Like I love looking. That's why like the hip thing's kind of weird. And like, listen, I love looking at the models that show hip. They have like these fun, crazy designs that look like they're from Genshin. And it also, I guess VTuber attire is very different because what is fashion in real life that is inspired by other fashion from past generations. Fashion for VTubers is very much inspired by video games. So that's why you kind of get the like super high hip slit stuff. Also, I just want to say there is something about a beautiful dress that is floor length with a slit up to the hip that is beautiful. And I wish that was not banned on Twitch, but would it be? Because it's not showing a lot, but it's showing a little. Is that okay? Is it not okay? It's, and I think that's why they're kind of vague with it. Because I think in some instances it would be okay. You feel called out for the long length dress with the slit? It's beautiful. I love it. I love fashion. It's always so fun to look at. And that's why I like VTuber designs so much, because people are inspired by all these different things. They're inspired by anime, they're inspired by video games, and then they like take them together and then they mash them. And it's so cool to see. But, you know, there is something about having your design and then having like the Vahugana lines out, which I wouldn't want to see a person on here with it out, just like streaming Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You know, it's something that it should be covered. I understand why people are angry about it. But again, they finally just said hips. All of these other ones, the genitalia, buttocks, nipples, underbust, all of that stuff was already in here. They just finally said hips, but hips has always kind of been implied. So you can do with that what you will. Festival and beach attire. Festival and beachwear allows slightly more revealing clothing with the relative category, with allowing the showing of hips and underbust, but genitalia and nipples must be covered. So, VTubers who want to do a fun beach outfit, you still can. Just slap a beach thing behind you and you're good. You're great. You're golden. That's all you gotta do. Static and animated work for streaming, BRB, and ending must follow our guidelines. That one's new. I've always followed it. I don't see anything wrong with that. You really should make sure that, like, you know, no one's seeing, like, you know, all the bits, all the stuff. Anyway, if you are in a setting such as pool, as beach, or hot tubs, that may not be real. Props do not require water within them for us to still consider you in the correct category. And that's just talking about VTubers who want to do backgrounds. Your content is still required for the correct category with content label classifications. If we cannot tell whether you are clothed or not, and are implying that you are not clothed through methods of skin tight or skin tone clothing, black bars, blurring, hiding, props, or being off screen, you will be at risk with the force of attire. Meow, I'm sorry. I'm going to call you out on this one, dear. That is going to be for your strapless dress. It's beautiful, but I don't think you can only be your shoulders. I don't think you can just be your shoulders. You gotta be up to waist so we can see the full dress. Good for us. I mean, we get to see your beautiful dress. Oh my God. I have never spoken this much in a while. Ooh-wee. Okay. This is the account usernames and display names, which this has always been here. Inappropriate usernames that violate our community guidelines are prohibited. Example, Twitch names, breaking any of the hateful conduct, harassment, sexual harassment, illegal activities, sensitive stuff, all of that is in there. Don't make your usernames inappropriate. I'm not going to go over that because that has been in here since the beginning. You should use tags and adhere to the Twitch terms. Yep. The prohibited game list. This has always been here. Prohibited gambling content. Gambling's banned here. That's nothing new. Authenticity and impersonation. You may not impersonate a Twitch partner account, pose as a celebrity in a chatter stream, create a waiting room, i.e. a stream with a tag labeled waiting room for someone else's stream, which I've seen that. Like, I think a lot of people do that for debuts and stuff. Yeah, just, I mean, don't add waiting room and then just raid out to the person debuting. Not a big deal. Spam, scams, or other malicious content. You may not post scams. Large repetitive amounts of unused. Tell that to the people who are always telling me that I can buy cheap followers. Please get rid of them. Defraud Twitch and others. Engage in perishing and malware and viruses. Dispute unauthorized advertisements. Engage in viewership tampering, which that's always been here as well. Sell or sharing user accounts. Cheat the Twitch reward system, such as drops or how do you cheat it? Engage in any cheating, hacking, botting, or tampering with an account owner with an unfair advantage online. What the hell is cheat the Twitch reward system? How do you even cheat a reward system that's just clicking a button? Am I crazy? I didn't think that was a thing. Enforcement clarifications, redirecting users to a live stream or another service via links on your Twitch page, QR or broadcast, titles or go live notifications, links to social profiles, not tied directly to your live stream, present in the About Me bio or in your panels are still permitted. Drops are meant to be earned during live gameplay or for your community. Not stream. Okay, so I think this is to deter the people who would just sit in like the section that would be doing drops, and then it would just be a blank screen, or it would show all the drops, or it would just be a still image of the game, or a video, like, or them just like AFK in the game. I think that's what it's to deter. I guess that's how you would cheat the drop system. Using bots or static images, yeah, for drop farming. Yep. Okay, so that's what drop, I guess, cheating is. Suspension evasion, that's always been here. If you're suspended and then you make another account to try to stream, that's always been there. Harmful or misinformation actors. In order to reduce harm to your community or public without undermining our streamers' open dialogue with their community, we prohibit harmful misinformation spreaders who are persistently sharing misinformation on their on or off Twitch. We remove users whose online presence is dedicated to persistent sharing widely disproven and broadly shared harmful misinformation on topics. That's great. I think misinformation is a big problem, so putting that in with examples and stuff is great. There's also under the policy, the following topic areas: misinformation on COVID-19, conspiracy networks tied to violence, civic misinformation, basically all of this, yeah. So I can't have my Sasquatch is real stream. You could have a searching for Sasquatch stream. Like if you want to go actually look for Sasquatch. Content labeling. You are expected to accurately label your content to the best of your ability. And that's the end. That is the end. Oh my God. I've never spoken so much in my entire life. Oh my goodness. Whew. We did it, guys. We went through all of it. Whew. Uh-oh. That took 3 hours. Holy cow. But we read it all. So overall, I don't have any problem with any of the updates. The only problem I have is that I think the VR chat model should be held to the same standard as everyone else on Twitch. I don't think they should be excluded. Personal opinions. I think they should just take away the pool and beach category. I think that should just be lumped in with IRL. That way they're actually going to IRL places and not just standing by a pool at a hotel or in their backyard and then, or in a hot tub in there. You know what? Pool in your backyard, fine. It's the hot tub awkwardly placed in the living room for me, I think. That's it. I don't like it. It's not good. It's mold. Could pop if a cat gets near it, and then you have a cat that's gonna get wet, and then all of your electronics are ruined. All of it. All right, later, Soup. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. You have a good rest of your day. So yeah, maybe just take that out and then lump it into IRL. That way people stop putting hot tubs in their living room. What's worse is what if they're in apartments? I can't tell you how livid I would actually be if I was in an apartment below a person who had a hot tub in their living room and that shit popped and then ruined my ceiling. I would be so angry. I'd be like, what were you doing? Where'd all this water come from? Oh, well, I was having a hot tub stream in my living room. What? I'd be so mad. Like, you were doing what now? I'm sorry, excuse me? There's literally a pool outside. Why? I'd be so mad. It would be so bad because, you know, all the stuff in apartments, it's literally made of like this paper thin material. That's why you can hear everything through the floor and through the walls. So, you know, if a hot tub pops in a living room in an apartment, it is definitely gonna ruin the one downstairs. I mean, you see it with people who like have tubs and stuff that break if they like overflow. It ruins the apartment below them. Oh man. So yeah, personal opinion, just get rid of the pool section, lump it in with IRL. Everyone has to abide by the clothing guideline. And I would like clear depictions for what artists can and cannot draw. I feel like they kind of keep getting shafted. Everyone else got such clear examples. Like, I mean, reading through some of the examples for the earlier stuff, I was so uncomfortable. Just even reading it. So if they can get that in depth on those details, I think that, you know, at least a paragraph for artists would be nice. But yeah, otherwise I think the additions are great. But man, reading some of those examples were, man, they were a lot. They made me uncomfortable. So I don't know. The person who wrote those, I don't envy them. I would hate having to think up those examples. Because that was a lot. A lot. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. It's lunchtime. I'm tired of talking. My throat hurts because I keep yapping. Oh, thank you so much for coming to the stream. Thank you for going over the TOS with me. I hope we all now are a lot more knowledgeable about what Twitch expects of everyone, broadcasters and viewers. So, yeah, I hope we all learned some stuff. Oh, also, your hydrate crystal. I'm gonna go eat lunch. I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day. We will be live tomorrow with an actual game. I promise. Here is the Discord if you would like to join. Also my other links if you would like to follow any of them. I'm going to find someone to raid. And of course, I accidentally go to my creator dashboard. Good job. Good job, me. Bada bada. Bada bada. Alrighty, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Hold on, let me set up this raid. There we go. Alright, guys. Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys. See you. Goodbye. Bye. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching, and thank you for all the follows. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye.